I hope you cut that part. It's before the episode.
Yeah. Well, of course I'm going to cut it. I don't want people to hear that. Nice setup, Steve. That's my hum song. Hey everyone, I'm Ryan.
And I'm Steven. This is 60 Cycle Hum, the guitar buying, selling, trading, modding. What?
I was going to try to do it too.
The guitar buying, selling, trading, fixing.
The guitar buying, selling, trading, fixing, modding, breaking, reviewing, playing podcast.
And on this episode, we're going to find out, does it doom or does it boom?
Boom!
I hate those guys so much.
Why did we bring them up?
But
they literally haven't been relevant in like 3 weeks.
I watched a video.
The day after we record this, they did like a murder.
I listened to a podcast they were on with a semi-serious,
Why would you do that to yourself?
Because they were being interviewed by a journalist that I listened to.
Why would a journalist do that?
I don't, because she specializes in like internet culture. Like that, the podcast is about internet culture.
Oh my gosh.
And they actually see, like the dad kind of seems like he's just playing a character. Like he's a professional wrestler.
Obviously, he's playing a character.
But like, I liked it better when I thought he was just a total dick.
I never thought it was real. I was like, it felt like used car salesman character.
I mean, I think he is genuinely
which connects to the pro wrestler thing. I can't believe we're talking about the Costco guys.
You know, super Italian, whatever.
Of course, they're going to walk around eating a chicken bake.
Every time I go to Costco, though, I'm like, I just think about like how inconvenient I can't imagine having a job where a large portion of my job is just inconveniencing people for no gain.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about the Costco guys.
Oh, the Costco. I thought you were talking about Costco employees or something.
No, I was saying when I go to Costco,
right.
It's so busy that I'm just like, how the hell would you film in here without just
anybody
not feeling like a total asshole?
Anybody filming in a retail space without the express permission of that place is being the absolute worst.
Dude,
there wasn't YouTube when I worked in the grocery industry or when you worked in retail.
Right, yeah.
There would be people who would come into grocery stores doing like their sorority scavenger hunt, but with a camcorder. And it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are being so annoying in here. I can't imagine someone setting up a ring light in the middle of the chip aisle.
Yeah.
And making a spectacle of themselves and starting over and over again. Like, I didn't like that take. I'm going to do it again. Like, get out of here. Like, get out of here. Leave. It's so disrupting to everyone.
I'm generally a, live and let live, in a live and let live position, but there's apparently a YouTube channel based in San Diego. It only has like 17,000, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong. It's a good number, but they're a prank show, air quotes. Apparently they're at the Walmart in Claremont dressed as Allied security, standing outside saying like that Walmart is asking them to check IDs to make sure only American citizens go inside the store, or like something like that. And then like somebody went inside and complained to the manager, and the manager came and was like, what the hell are you guys doing? And they were like filming it and whatever. And that's on the level of like,
that sounds like a crime.
I feel like that, to me, that's on the level of like, if you see that in public, and somebody like knocks that dude out, like I will go to your court trial and say that you are my best friend and you are the most upright citizen.
Steve will perjure himself for
Hell yeah. If you knock out some asshole, it's not even a prank.
Steve will stand up in the parking lot when the cops arrive and he'll just say, I did it. And then everyone else in the parking lot will be like, we did it too. We all did it. You can't catch us all.
I'm Spartacus.
Exactly. I was making a Spartacus reference. I knew that I was. You didn't have to say it. I thought it was obvious.
I know.
Everyone else got it too.
No, they're all Gen Z. They've never seen Spartacus. That's not
never
true.
Seen Spartacus?
Gen Z is our smallest market segment.
I don't mean Gen Z, but like sometimes I realize that there's like, maybe it was just a nerdy kid, but there's a lot of like older media that I'm familiar with that like people older than me seem to not really be familiar with.
Oh, really?
And Spartacus might be one of those where it feels like if I went up to a random 50-year-old and I referenced Spartacus, I think there would be a little light in their eyes. Like, yeah, I've heard that name before. Yeah, I am Spartacus. But I doubt they'd actually ever seen the movie. I've watched Spartacus.
I mean, I don't know.
I've watched all of Lawrence Arabia like a couple times.
I have not seen Lawrence of Arabia.
Oh, it's long.
I know what it is.
It's long.
But I feel like if you went up to a random 50-year-old and you were like, man's got to know his limitations, would they know?
I don't know.
Like,
what was that sound? Is that your phone?
That's why.
Anyways, this is a guitar show. This first ad was, just so you know how this works. Viewers like you send us screen grabs or links to local listings, either on Craigslist, OfferUp, hey, even Reverb, eBay, Gumtree, wherever you happen to be, and there happen to be sites like this. Mm-hmm. They send us their listings of, the weirdest, the most wonderful, the most ridiculous, the craziest of Craigslist, the most ridiculous of Reverb. You get the point. Listings from the used market, and then we do 3 a week. We sit here and we critique them and say whatever we want to say about them. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's insightful. Sometimes it's just boring. Mm-hmm. A lot of times it's just boring. And then at the end of the episode, we pick our favorite.
Yeah.
And we give the person who sent that listing a $25 virtual gift certificate printed on heavy digital cardstock.
Well, it's a real gift certificate. It's just digital. It's not virtual.
It's virtual.
No, it's real. It's real money. It's not.
I mean, as
money.
real as we are.
Sure. That's fair.
Let's not get into semantics here, Steve.
This first ad was sent by Lucas Servey. He sends us a good number of ads. It's called "This Is Double Down." It's a 6-string and 4-string bass or electric guitar. They sound great and hold the tune. There are 2 pickups on both. It comes with heavy-duty handmade case with 4 wheels. There's cordless amp for each one bolted to it. A little history with Double Down. It took Best of Show at Hopkins Center for the Arts in May 2023 for members, where there was over 250 artists and their creations in the exhibit. So
congratulations.
In Hopkins, Minnesota. This is an art piece. This is not a guitar.
I am like it. A little bit of county fair. Like Lutherie woodworking section kind of vibes where like, I bet there was a lot of stuff kind of like this.
This is steampunk.
It's a lot of things.
It is rainbow. It is
cigar box guitars.
Cigar box. Is Camacho like a cigar brand?
Probably. If it's a cigar box,
The string tree is a key.
There's a lot going on
here.
Cigar
box guitar.
Okay. All right, let's rewind a second. So yeah, I saw that the string tree on the bass side of this situation is like an old-timey, like skeleton key style thing. And it's like, oh, I wonder if the other one uses a key. And I look over there, and it's like a key that you get from the key printer at Home Depot. It's a novelty, like, oh, here's keys for our guests when they go to the community pool sort of key. It's, what is going on here? Yeah, everything here is all over the map. There's no solid theme. It is steampunk, it is cigar box, it is rainbow strings, it is a mixture of keys, it is a rolling case.
This guitar is worth at least 50 cents.
There's a dice knob.
There's a dice knob.
There's a little drum thing and a silver dollar. Like it's I wonder if this show had a theme, and the theme was like knickknacks or like junk drawer or something like that. This is a drunk junk drawer guitar. That was a Freudian slip, and I was like, yeah, let's lean into it. Why not?
It's a drunk junk drawer.
Junk drawer.
They've like added on.
We haven't even gotten to the case yet.
they like added on for the bridge to make it fit. They like created wood parts for the bridge.
Oh, there's
to like fix the scale.
Yeah, the bridges are hanging off the cigar boxes because the scale, which, yeah, I get if they bought a pre-fretted neck, I guess so. But then I'm thinking like, why did they do the bolt nuts if these were pre-fretted necks?
What do you mean the bolt nuts?
Look at the nuts; they're bolts.
Oh, how did I miss that?
That's like a common cigar box style thing. Is to use bolts for bridges and nuts.
So they
and stuff like that.
took the existing nuts out, widened the channel to add this bolt to it.
To do the look of a bolt, to do the cigar box thing, which is like, oh my God, that hurts my heart, my soul. Okay, so this is a snake sucking on its own tail situation.
Is this the breaking part of the modding part of the show, or the breaking part of the show?
Breaking my mind. So cigar box guitars.
Yeah.
Like I understand the aesthetic. I understand the attraction to the hobby of these things.
Mm-hmm. It's sexual.
It's sexual. No, it's I hope not. The idea is it's almost like model shipbuilding. It's closer to model trains than any other part of guitar hobby culture.
Which is why it has all the gears, just like a model train.
No, but it's like it's older men sitting in their garage or their shed, working with all the woodworking tools they've collected over their life, like sitting there with a Japanese saw, cutting out little blocks of wood and stuff like that, and using unconventional parts where they're needed.
Right.
So they're using a big bolt to be the bridge because they're like, I don't know where to get a bridge, and then they're using a broom handle cut in half with some frets improvised on it with nails or something like that. And then they use a little bolt or whatever for the nut, or maybe they're buying a pre-made neck and then they just leave it as it is with its nut and its frets and tuners and stuff like that.
Right.
This is the cigar box trend going way too far because it's gone past the utilitarian side of that hobby where it's like, oh, let's use stuff, but let's try to make it all kind of make sense. And like, oh, this is the charm of the cigar box. This is crossed past that because this person reversed the functionality that came on kit necks that they bought to build this thing.
Right. To
apply the style of the utility of other cigar box guitars. So what started as a utility of the hobby has now become a style. And now it's just like, oh, you got to have a bolt nut or it's not going to sound right, or it's not going to have people aren't going to think there's no way this guy built these necks. He bought kit necks and they definitely came with nuts on them. And he definitely took away wood to put these nuts in the nut slots to push further into the vibe of the cigar box scene. Is this bothering anyone else as much as it's bothering me?
Did you look at the base headstock closely?
What am I missing?
This isn't a 3-in-1 headstock.
No, it's a 4 that they converted. Like they moved the holes around.
They're like, we can't shove enough gears into this thing unless we completely re-drill.
And this is an art piece, so like anything goes.
Here's the thing: is I don't think like
I do appreciate the effort for this person to do the things that he wanted to do intentionally.
He's calling it an art piece. He said he put it into a local art competition.
Are these connected or are they individuals?
I think they seem like they're connected.
The impression is that they're connected, but they could just be sharing the same space in the same case.
That's true.
It doesn't really matter. It doesn't change how bonkers these are.
But the way it's set up, like if you look at these, there's only one strap. Like there's only a strap on the base neck. I think they're connected.
You might be right because the tail of the strap goes behind the bottom guitar.
I think in the middle, right here of the body, it is a switch to switch between the two guitars.
You're probably right.
Now that being said,
why did he have to do a double neck with 2 cigar boxes connected. Isn't there a bigger cigar box? There should be. There's got to be a cigar box that's big, right?
Right.
That, I know it's probably not common, but everything exists that anyone could ever buy. There has to be a big cigar box.
So there's this amp here, this JB120.
Okay, let's before you even start talking about the amp,
okay,
let's qualify the fact that this thing comes with a case that's on rollers that it looks way too big. It looks like an old suitcase sort of thing. Look at the freaking bolt on the side of this.
Yeah.
Where did this thing come from? This gigantic, ridiculous case. And then to make this like a busking rig, a travel case.
Maybe he made
a case with an amp built in. We all know that concept, right? Like the old Silvertone cases.
Yeah.
It has a tube amp built into the case, but you look from the outside and it's case size. No, this is a gigantic case that just so happens to have 2 practice amps bolted to the outside of it, and then a wooden box in the middle. In between those 2 amps bolted to the outside of the case is this wooden box meant to hold your wireless units.
Yeah, you got 2 wireless units, one for your guitar and one for your bass.
And there's no style here to any of this. This is pure function. Like there's none of the gears coming through to the front or anything like that. There's none of the rainbow thing. There's none of the stylized stuff that's going on. It doesn't even have a Comanche logo on there. It's just 2 practice amps bolted to the outside of a case. And they're just sticking out like window-mounted air conditioners.
Right. Real quick, Ryan, this is what I want to say.
Yes.
There was a stretch of time, I don't know, maybe a year or 2 ago, where we would get probably an email a month. For like probably 6 or 7 months, we were getting an email a month from X5.
Yes.
To promote something.
Oh, every guitar YouTuber gets hit up at least 3 times a year by X5.
If they would have hit this guy up, this is your guy. He's already using your wireless.
I did 2 demos for X5 like 6 months apart because they're like, "Hey, you want to demo this thing?" And I was like, "I just demoed it, but I mean, if they want me to do it again, I could use the money." I was like, I told them, I was like, "I just did this 6 months ago." They're like, "Yeah, you want to do it again?" Okay, it was an easy check. That was. Sometimes you need that, you know. So what were you going to say? X5 should sponsor this?
X5 should sponsor this.
Yeah, absolutely.
X5 should sponsor this.
Steve had an idea.
I did?
Like a week or so ago. And now all we need is for X5 to hit us up again. I feel like it's been a year since they hit us up. So if they hit us up again in the next couple of months.
Well, you know, Lakato hits us up all the time, and I think they have wireless too.
X5's a better brand. No, maybe we'll do. You know what? We get hit by all sorts of companies that do the wireless plugs. Steve's idea was to see how far we can.
Well, that wasn't even my idea. That was actually so.
Oh, did you get that from the Tone Mob or something?
I got that from Patreon.
Patreon?
Yeah, in the Patreon.
Holy
chat.
hell, Steve! Did I just transition into the Patreon spot?
I don't know. Did you? Here we go.
I'm shivering.
From outstanding Bill in the Patreon chat. Hi, Ryan and Steve. In the interest of science, could you please make a video showing how many wireless transmitters you can chain without the signal deteriorating or becoming laggy? And then he basically describes how he thinks we could do it. And then I screenshot that and sent it to you. And I said, I think this is a really good idea.
That's right.
And we should figure out a way to do it.
Well, if we get the opportunity, we might do it because it is a fun idea, but it might end up with Steve and I playing guitar across the county.
There's ways to do it without having to you know.
Could you imagine though, if we put together some of these rigs?
Yeah.
And we drove a quarter mile. Well, it still works. And then you just chuck a rig in the bushes. And then you just drive another quarter mile, chuck another rig in the bushes. You're like, yeah, we're still getting signal, and we're on our phones. Like, yeah, it's still coming through. And then one of us gets all the way down to like the beach. And it's like, I'm playing guitar at home. You've got an amp on the beach. And we're playing wirelessly across like 5 miles or whatever it is.
I mean, the question, I think there's that lag question, which I think is really interesting because I think most of these things are rated at like 4 or 5 milliseconds, something like that, like a near imperceptible amount of lag, when it's in your room. But if each one of these units is like, is that level of lag, then by the time you're up to like 7 or 8 of them, you should be able to feel that difference.
But the person playing won't even be in the same building on the same block. They won't even be able to hear the difference.
There's so many different ways to execute this. So here's a thought that I have. Do you have?
What we could do is we could just hook it up to a looper.
You could hook it up to a looper,
and then you and I just go on a drive with a bunch of duct tape together transmitters and chuck them out the window until the amp stops.
But like one way you could do it too is
we would have to number them. So it's like you have to throw 1, 2, 3.
This is it takes
some planning.
Lemon powered fuzz all over again.
Those of you who are like you only started watching in the past 4 or 5 years, we have older content. Steve and I got together one day and we powered a Fuzz Factory with lemons.
Yeah.
That video's out there on YouTube. Go find it. It was an adventure. I think I still smell like lemon 8 years later.
I feel like if we made that video now, it would go viral.
I think I still have the nails.
Well, I'm saying like we just need to figure out a way to get that video on the Guitar World or something. All this to say is if you want to throw
Next time I've got a big lemon crop on my tree, let's talk about it.
Oh my gosh.
Like redo it? Why not?
Yeah.
We didn't have enough audience for it to get picked up anywhere when we did it.
I'm going to put a link in this video for the folks so they can see it. We could make it look way better than we did last time too.
Hell yeah.
But if you want to help support this show, if you want to help make this wackadoodle repeating wireless kits, there's so many ways to do it.
We were in an ad, Steve, and we talked about wireless units for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, I know. Head on over to patreon.com/60cyclehumpcast, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the making of this program. Of course, we've been doing a lot of different things. We got NAMM coming up, which has its own share of expenses. That camera is the camera that's recording us, the new one.
Yeah.
Hi, new camera.
Hi, new camera. And that light is
the light
new
above is new. Yeah. Of course, if you've been enjoying our short form, which is just clips of this show,
it's $1,000 worth of equipment right there.
We've been using some of this Patreon fundage.
Yeah.
To pay our buddy RJ to do that. It was his idea to do it, and it's something
he's been doing the shorts. Really yeah.
So,
and you know, like my schedule has been so full. I've been thinking forever, like we need to be having shorts that are highlights of the podcast, and hopefully it'll work to bring in a new audience for this long form show that we do every week. That's not a gear demo. It's just two dudes hanging out, chatting. You know, totally new concept in the podcast space.
Never been done before. Two white guys, microphones, camera.
Well, one of us is white passing, Steve.
That's true. Only one of us.
It's me. I pass as white every time.
This episode's also brought to you by Wong's Guitars, or as the white people say, Wang's Guitars.
Wang's Guitars. As the gringos do say it as Wang's because it's funnier.
Yeah, they bring you a tone fancier for electricity guitar.
That's true.
That is their slogan, directly translated from Mandarin to English. They have a newer. I guess it's newer. It's new. Is it still new? We're going to call it new. It's a Dumble clone. It's a Dumble circuit on PCB, and it's pretty much a direct clone.
They look great.
They look great.
Come in a bunch of colors.
They're under $1,000.
Like if you've never experienced a Dumble before, what I'll say with my experience with the Grand back here,
right,
which is a Dumble style amp.
Yeah,
Dumbles don't sound good unless you're good at making an amp sound good. And a Dumble style amp gives you every opportunity to sound good. If you have the ear skill to do it, you can make it sound really, really good. But you can also get yourself in all sorts of fun trouble too. There's all sorts of little switches and extra things that they do. And that's really the secret. It's not some sort of special secret sauce of like, oh, the crystal lettuce is lined up just right. No, there's extra switches and knobs that let you cut highs and mids and boost highs. And like, there's all sorts of fun little extra things. That's really the magic of a Dumble. And thanks to Wang's, you can get a Dumble style head for under $1,000. Yep. They've got a 20-watt model. They've got a 40-watt model. And apparently, I feel Steve wanting to get on this right now, but I'm beating him to it.
Oh, no!
He's salivating. If you buy one of these things,
yeah,
and you want to point your phone at it and make a little video showing it off and publish it on YouTube, Wangs will give you, what was it, a 20?
I think it's 25%.
A 25% rebate on your amp. They want to reward you for helping spread the word about these things. Hit them up. Talk to them about it. See if they're serious. They told us they're serious about this. Talk to them. See if you want to get one of these amps. If you're in the market, you've always wanted to try a Dumble, I think this is a good opportunity. Steve and I have hands-on experience with Wangs. I'm so sorry.
That's the name of the brand.
I know. We have hands-on experience with Wangs, our own Wangs and each other's Wangs. We've we both played with them, and we think you should too. Jeff is gonna love this. Hi, Jeff. They're well built, and I really do think the brand is great. I think it's a well built brand that makes good products. So go check them out.
Yeah. This episode's also brought to you by Fellows Guitars.
I'm so sorry.
Fellows Guitars are made in the USA, and every part of the guitar that can be fashioned by hand is fashioned by the hand of Jonathan Fellows.
Two. I counted.
By the hands of Jonathan Fellows. They've got all kinds of, he's a one-man shop. He's doing this all on his own. So that means for you, there's lots of options for different pickup choices, wiring configuration.
You get to talk to the guy who does every part of it.
All that stuff. Go check out the link tree below. It's got links to all their socials. Jonathan's been posting a lot of like build videos, finish videos. His finishes are fantastic. I really think they're great playing guitar, but they're also the kind of guitar that is visually stunning.
Listen, Steve.
And that's important to me.
We could talk for the entire rest of the episode about all of the amazing qualities of Fellows Guitars, because we've experienced them in person, just like each other's Wangs. We have experienced them in person.
Okay.
But the important part of advertising, Steve, is getting the name locked in people's heads. Fellows Guitars. Fellows Guitars.
This bit's not that good.
Fellows Guitars. Fellows Guitars.
Now it's stuck in my head.
Fellows Guitars. It's working. Fellows Guitars. Yay, advertising. You're going to wake up in the middle of the night, cold sweating, like, Fellows Guitars. Fellows Guitars. I have to see him now. Put your hand on your podcast machine. You feel that? That's the power of podcast advertising. Thanks, Jonathan, for supporting this nonsense. He knew what he was getting into. He knows what we're like. He's hung out with us at parties. He's going to hang out with us at NAMM.
If you're going to NAMM this year or next year, 2025, he's going to be in Hall D, booth 4832. You need to go check out his guitars.
Steve,
you need to.
Are you feeling this right now? It might be the best episode of the year. And I'm saying that at the end of the year. This feels like a good one. All right, you tell me which episode you think is better.
I do want to say I want to get this ultimate busk off my screen. And look, we got a
Joey Scar
from Joey Scar. This is a Yamaha.
Will he win third week in a row?
Fourth week in a row.
Fourth week in a row?
Joey. Yeah, because the Gib Fund was his.
I told you Joey's too good at this.
This is a Yamaha SGV 300. This is the reissue, the 2000-2001.
I mean, the last two were purely by chance because we let the wheel decide.
I didn't know that they did the reissue with the original style trim.
Oh yeah, they did the whole thing. Well, it's not exactly the same as the original trim or the original bridge. It is modernized.
But it's like that over-engineered one. For some reason, I was thinking the reissues just had like Strat trims on.
Nope. Well, they did make some variations that had Strat trims.
I'm not crazy.
But those variations also just had Strat pickups.
Okay.
Where this is like the full-blown, style Yamaha pickups.
I have here a Yamaha SGV 300 in great condition. The guitar was made in Taiwan on May 26, 2000. According to the serial number, the SGV 300 line ran 2000 to 2007. Were based off the original SG2A, made in Japan in the 1960s. Over the years, these guitars became more and more collectible, especially in the rare and desirable canary yellow color.
That is the color that I want.
$1,200 free shipping from Bellevue Guitars in Bellevue, Washington.
When I get enough time in my life, enough free time to sit and want guitar gear and not just have it be like my job, because, you know, I do demos and stuff comes in all the time.
Sure.
But the thing that people don't really understand there is that, like, I don't pick most of that stuff. It's the job. It's what's launching. It's what's coming out. I cover all the stuff that's coming out. I don't always get to get stuff that I lust for. I've been lusting for one of these for super, super long. But the place I've been stuck in, every time I get in that place where I'm like, oh yeah, I could drop some money right now on a guitar that I really want for me, I can't decide in between these reissues, the 2000s reissues, or getting a 60s one. Because you can buy the 60s ones for basically the price that this guy's asking for the reissue. Right. This guy's asking $1,200. I think I can get a 60s one probably within a couple $100 of that. So maybe like top end $1,600.
There was that one up in Lake Elsinore. Remember that was like very checked. But I think it was I want to say it was 18. Yeah.
I keep trying to ask people who have vintage ones when they pop up.
Sure.
And the problem is I don't believe them when they answer me. I ask them, like, do the vintage ones have like the really tiny Mosrite frets? Like, do they have this super, like, and they're always like, no, there's actually some life on the frets. And like, you're talking about the life of the frets. I'm talking about like the style of the frets.
Sure.
They have the weird speed fret thing that was weirdly popular during that time. And I haven't gotten the straight answer because I don't want to plop down $1,200, $1,600 on a vintage guitar and be like, I'm not going to play this because it's not comfortable for my modern hand, where I know the 2000s reissues will be comfortable for my modern hand, and I should probably just get over it and buy one in this exact color. But this guy, his price is all wrong.
Now, you took a bunch of screenshots of other ones, but one of them is in Japan.
Yeah. Most of the time
most of them are in Japan.
Most of the time when you see these on the eBays, they are in Japan. The guy who is selling this one, he wanted $1,200
he's in Washington,
down from $1,600. And maybe there's something, I don't know. Maybe this is the cleanest example ever. I do appreciate that it comes with the wiggle stick. A lot of times you see them used without the wiggle stick, which is a deal breaker for me. But yeah, you look all over eBay and they're pretty much half that price.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was this one this black one that I was looking at, and the listing was really confusing because it kind of sounded like it came without the neck, and the body has been refinished, super sloppy. But $476 or best offer, I was like, oh man, that could be a fun project starter, but not if it doesn't come with a neck.
Right. It says an entry model that inherits the playability of the SGV, and then it says body only.
Yeah, it's like, does that mean just the body, or does it mean the body loaded with the pickups without the neck? Like, I'm not going to pay $476 for just the body. I want the neck and that samurai headstock.
Yeah, that's an odd.
Yeah. And there's a green one on eBay for $530. I mean, $165 shipping, but you get the point. Like,
I really like this one. It's $700, but it's like the
baby blue,
Sonic blue, maybe.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell in this picture what color.
I want the yellow. I want the yellow. That's what I've always wanted. It's what I should hold out for and get.
I think yellow is my least favorite guitar color, especially like this kind of yellow that's almost like.
I like it. I like a yellow guitar.
It's like almost white.
It's not almost white.
It's like that Fender.
It's at best
cream.
At best, it's a banana cream. But look at how yellow that is.
The headstock is very yellow. I'll give you that.
I think it depends on the light. I have seen these in person, this finish, and it is closer to that cream color. But still, I would want the yellow. But these guitars were so inventive. The trims were super weird. The double single pickup. And you're thinking, Ryan, you're just explaining a humbucker. No, it's two single coils.
Yeah.
In a very large pickup cover. And they're just very unusual. This weird samurai headstock. Even the knobs are weird. The whole thing is bizarre. But they also share this lineage coming from the same time frame and the same pickups, really, as the guitar that became like Link Wray's best known guitar. So there's this surf lineage in there, and this trashy garage rocky early rock and roll lineage in there that I'm into. And also Terry from Terry and the Bunnies. We're playing all these old Yamahas and stuff too. And it's like, all the old like Japanese leaky surf and stuff like that. Like, I want it for me. Like, I'll never need another guitar in my life, but I've always wanted to have one of these. So that's why I picked the ad. And now I'm going to end up picking it, and Joey Scar is going to win 4 weeks in a row.
Oh my gosh. Ryan.
Yeah. Maybe, you know what? Joey Scar, you can't win this episode. I'm sorry. I'm taking away your eligibility this episode. I'm sure you won't be sad, but even if this is my favorite ad, I'm going to give it to someone else.
Ryan.
Yes, Steve.
You got anything new?
Maybe we should just have a Joey Scar on here.
It's just one.
He can only win it if it lands on there. Okay, Steve, what were you going to say?
You got anything new?
No, but you do. Tell me about it.
I finally, took me a long time. I finally reassembled the Caroline board.
Ah, yeah.
I have a PT Junior with 10 Caroline Guitar Company pedals.
You probably have more Caroline pedals than Caroline does.
Last year at NAMM, so Philippe was there at the Effectors Market, and I made the joke. I'll send you the picture. The picture will probably already be on Instagram before this episode airs. But I made the joke last year. I'm like, yeah, I think my Caroline board's better than yours. Like the one that he had for the show.
Right. You should talk to him and be like, hey, you want to put a sign on this that this is Steve from 60 Cycle Hum's board and put it out at the booth? If he's got a booth?
Yeah, maybe. I can reach out to him.
If he has his own booth, I would pitch that. If he's going to do the deli booth, there's probably not room.
I think he's going to do the Effectors Market. If he comes out. But I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But they're really cool. I'm messing around with it, and it's kind of like a lot of versatility on it. He's got kind of like clean, boosty kind of pedals. Like 2 different fuzzes. 2 that I can think of. 3. Hawaiian Pizza. 4. Hawaiian Pizza, Shigeharu, Crom. What's the 4th one? It doesn't matter.
One day.
Maybe there's 3.
One day, some other guitar podcast is going to come around with some, like young whippersnappers, and we're going to be dead.
Okay.
From old age.
Yeah.
I'm talking in at least 15 years.
At least. We're talking at least next week.
Yeah. No, like we'll be long gone because we got so old that we died. Or we'll be sitting in a home somewhere, and some young whippersnappers are going to have their own podcast, their own guitar show on the YouTubes or wherever they are in the future. HoloTube.
Rumble.
Yeah. God, I hope not. Oh my gosh. And they're going to be like, look at this board some asshole's trying to sell. It's all Caroline pedal. And then they're sitting there and they're doing the math. Well, actually, he's got a really pretty rare one here. And you know what? This one and this one and this one, they've never been seen in the same room together. Oh, and so, this is actually like a really good deal. I think I'm gonna buy this. Like, I think this is a really good flip. Like, that's the fate of your Caroline board. Yeah. What we do is going to be done to it.
What's funny about it,
and you're going to be sitting in the home looking at the holo screen or whatever, like, that's my board. Why is Melissa selling it?
Wait, I thought you said we were going to be dead.
We might still be alive, but we won't be working anymore.
I actually have 3 pedals that aren't on the board. I do have 1 duplicate pedal. But I do have 3
That's for your stereo rig, man.
So I do have 3 other pedals out. So I have 13. I actually have 14 Caroline pedals. It's a lot. Philip Carter at 40 Watt has been 40 Watt Podcast has been cataloging his pedals, and he determined that like 28% of his pedal collection is fuzzes. And I think like 28% of my pedal collection is just Caroline pedals. That's not true. I have a lot of pedals.
I don't want to know how many pedals I have. It's stupid.
But this is a topic that we've kind of covered before, and I'd be interested in knowing, folks in the chat, like, does anyone else do that with like brands? I didn't set out to do it. I did it after I think I bought like 2 or 3 of them, and I was just like, I think I'm just gonna buy all of them, and I did it over like many years.
You just like dedicated yourself.
I bought my first one like, I don't know, like 8 years ago, so it's not like I'm just buying them all the time. Just like Philippe comes out with a new one and I buy it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just want to know like if I'm the only one who's like gets hyper focused on a single brand like this. I can't.
I don't think I have, like, I have a ton of pedals here, Steve.
Right.
And I've had a ton of pedals move through here because I get rid of them eventually.
Yeah.
I don't think I have. How many did you say you have?
14.
14. I don't think I have 14 pedals from a single brand, from any brand. Like, I don't have 14 Boss pedals. I don't have 14 DOD pedals.
You probably had 14 JHS pedals.
I don't know.
Because you had all the 3 Series.
I know,
That's a bunch of them.
But I didn't have all of them though. And I only have
a bunch of them.
Only have a couple other JHSs around. I bet I was under.
True.
I bet I was under 12. But that's still like, I didn't buy those, Steve. That's true. That's work stuff. You bought all these pedals, and 3 Series are $99.
Yeah,
Caroline pedals, the ones we're talking about here, are not $99.
No. I did get one for. I think I got the blues. No, I paid for the blues. I got the Parabola for free.
You're gonna have to send a picture of your Caroline board so we can put it up.
I will. Yeah. I will.
Yeah, send it to me.
I won't do it.
Me.
I won't do it now though, because I've been banned from using my phone on this show. That's my other what's new.
RJ is starting to. I joked that he was a producer 2 episodes ago, and he showed up tonight and started producing.
Yeah, last night he texted me. He goes, "Why don't you use your iPad? Like, why are you on your phone?" I'm like, "I actually look a lot of things up that we talk about." He goes, "Well, just do it on your iPad. You got the iPad there." I go, "My iPad doesn't have any of the apps I use." He goes, "Then download them, idiot."
You know what it is? He heard me joke that we're not going to pay him like a producer. And so now he's all like, well, I'm going to be a producer. And then they're going to have to pay me like a producer.
I guess so. But speaking of apps, and I think it's really cool that they have an app, is this show's sponsored by TrueFire. And they... What? No, this is serious.
Velvet smooth transition, Steve.
TrueFire has an app. So when I'm doing my lessons, like, I don't have to go on a computer. I can just pull it up on my phone, put the phone. This is what I actually do is I put my headphones in, have my wireless in, my little practice amp, and I put the phone up on like the mantle of my fireplace. So that way I'm just standing there playing.
Yeah, I like that.
Or I put it on like a bookcase. It probably looks really dumb if you just saw it from the outside, because like,
I bet a ton of people do it that way.
Why is that guy staring at the top shelf of his bookcase for the last 10 minutes?
Your neighbors are looking in through your window like, I think that guy's dangerous. I think there's something
just
wrong.
Looks like I'm zombieing out.
He's just like staring into his bookcase and like rocking back and forth.
Yeah.
Like,
it's really cool.
Your back is turned to the window. They can't see that you're playing guitar.
Yeah. It's all there. I haven't done it on my, I have done it on my iPad too. The phone's just a little personally more convenient for me, but I think the iPad would be better if I had I have reasons that I don't use. That sounds weird. My kid steals my iPad.
All right.
So
you don't need to get into it.
If I try to use my iPad,
she's a little thief.
I know. But they have all these videos. They have songs that I want to learn. They have techniques I want to learn, and they're all there right on my phone, and they can be on your phone too. Just go check it out. Of course, they want you to know about their year-long package. It's the cheapest subscription package, but they have a free trial that's like for 2 weeks.
Also, I would try that first. So many different instructors on there.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you have different YouTube channels that you like? Mm-hmm. You're going to find the instructor that you like, and you're going to be like, oh, they have one on improv jazz. I don't even want to play improv jazz, but I bet they'll be able to teach it to me. So I'm going to do it anyways.
So go check them out. Use the link below. That way they know that we sent you. This episode, last but not least, is brought to you by Chase Bliss.
That's right, Steve. Chase Bliss has been supporting the show for a number of years. And if you've been enjoying the show for a number of years, then you should send them a thank you by purchasing everything they have for sale for Christmas. Distribute them to your family and friends, even if they don't play guitar. Just say, this is a very good guitar pedal, and I want to support the company that has been supporting the podcast I love.
If you're looking for stocking stuffers, like a guitar pedal fits perfectly in a stocking. If you're looking for something under the tree, try the Automatone series. Mm-hmm, they're a bit bigger. They're more appropriate for something you want to wrap and leave under the tree.
You might be listening to this in the future. Dads and grads, great gift for dads and grads, bar mitzvahs, you know. You want to lighten the mood at a wake? Bring a Chase Bliss pedal. They're great for all occasions.
Head on over to chasebliss.com. If you buy anything, make sure that they know that we sent you.
Yeah, but don't mention the wake part.
Ryan, I don't know how to introduce this topic. Do you know how you want to introduce this topic?
Well, I screen grabbed it, Steve. I don't have a way to get back to the extensive comment section, but we've been having fun on Threads because they've been paying us. So we've been extra motivated to make engaging content and posts over there. And here's one that did very well for us, and I thought we could adapt it to be a topic for the show. I simply asked, which guitar...
You posted that a long time ago.
I know, back in October. Which guitar is the third most recognizable? Everyone knows Fender and Gibson are first and second. That's right, I'm calling Gibson second. But who is number 3? And I intentionally left this vague as very well-crafted engagement bait.
You said recognizable. So not even like best-selling, just recognizable. Right?
But here's the thing. I first said which guitar, and then I said everyone knows Fender and Gibson. So it's like, am I being specific to a guitar model or am I being specific to brands? I wanted to leave it kind of open, but you're right. I did say recognizable, and I probably argued against that in the comment section, because what I found out is that if you go in the comment section and you tell people that you disagree with them, that gets a lot of views as well.
Because if it's just which guitar...
We're putting all the money we make on Threads into the show budget. Just so you know, we're not popping champagne over here. We're like, oh man, this is going to pay for NAMM for years.
60 cycle Christmas party. It's just us. We use the Threads money as a budget for a Secret Santa. Oh, Ryan, I got you for Secret Santa. Here's your gift.
You know, we could put aside a chunk of change and do some sort of crazy giveaway or something like that. Just throwing it out there. Or we could do some sort of, like, what if we went to Cowerfest next year? You know,
that's a bit away, but yeah.
No, but like it's something like that. What if we picked a thing to do that cost us money, and we could be like, oh, Threads paid for it. It feels like it's extra money, you know?
Yeah. No, that'd be fine.
Yeah. So what point were you going to make?
The point I was going to make is I think a lot of people had a really good point when they said Rickenbacker.
Based on recognizable, I still don't think Rickenbacker's third. But I will say that it's definitely not PRS. And this is big coming from me. Mm-hmm. I think the Rickenbacker is much more likely as a third most recognizable guitar as a concept than PRS.
I think most people are if it's a PRS single cut, they're gonna think it's a Les Paul, and if it's a PRS like a CU24 or whatever, people are gonna think it's like a really fancy Stratocaster.
Remember when I had a Hamer and our friend Adam thought it was a PRS?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like this, if you
and that was weird because it was a solid. It was the hollow body.
It was the Sunburst, which is the double cut.
I know.
Yeah. But it's like people outside of guitar gear culture, this very small hobby that we have that we think is the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah.
They don't know what the hell a PRS is. If I showed a PRS to a family member who didn't play guitar, they'd be like, I don't know, but I guarantee you they know the Fender brand. They know the Gibson brand. They probably know the Taylor brand. They probably know like brands like Marshall. But I bet that's it. I bet that's as far as like guitar gear culture extends out into the general population.
I think those are going to also all be people who like maybe really listen to music, like pay attention to music.
The people who are going to know what a Rickenbacker is are the people who own the entire Tom Petty discography. Like they're going to be people who read Wikipedia, you know,
right? So what I'm
about their favorite.
That's what I mean. It's like so.
Which is a small group of a large fandom. Like not everyone who listens to Tom Petty has any idea he's playing a Rickenbacker.
Right. But
people
what I'm thinking of is like genuine man on the street types.
That would be a fun video to make, to see if men, like random people on the street, men and women, children, pets,
Yeah, we should just,
wild animals would have any recollection of, or would be able to recognize and call out brand names, let alone model names. Like, I think some people would be like, oh, that's a Les Paul. I'm like, well, yeah, it says Les Paul in the headstock. Everyone can see that.
Right.
But like, and some people would be like, oh, that's a Fender Stratocaster. But I think most people would be like, that's a guitar. That's an electric guitar.
Do you know what kind of guitar this is?
I think
electric?
Is that the guitar that Jimi Hendrix played? Like, I think you'll get some of those.
I think that might be. So that's what I'm saying is like, everything's segmented to your point. Like, I feel like if I showed, if I showed my mom any guitar, she might be able to differentiate. She would probably be able to differentiate, oh, it's electric or oh, it's acoustic. And that's where it would end. My dad might do a little better. So I'm just saying, like,
but then we're talking about very low anecdotal numbers. We need a larger sample size, Steve. I think if we had a sample size of like 100 people on the street, I think we would absolutely see a trend that most people who are able to identify a guitar's brand or model are going to know Fender and Gibson over pretty much all other brands.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just think even those are going to be so hard to find.
But I think that statistically, I think they will trend much, much higher than a Rickenbacker or a PRS or even an Ibanez.
Sure. I think Fender is like,
So here's the question though, with that in mind, with the two big ones, with Fender and Gibson being the two big, why is it so hard to think of a third? Is there just not a third?
There might not be a third.
I think there just might not be a third option is as in that ballpark of recognizability.
I'm looking at I'm looking over here and like, for example, your West Creek Racer, which is sort of a reverse SG thing.
Right.
I think if you showed that to an average person, they're not going to know West Creek. I think the average person who knows the names of a handful of guitar brands might guess that that's a Gibson. Your Guild Polera, I think the same thing. People are going to think that that's a Gibson.
Right. The Yamaha, maybe. The Revstar.
Yeah, they might.
Because it's a little bit an SG thing going on a little bit.
Right. And actually the Epiphone, was it the Crestwood? I bet people are going to think that's a Fender.
It's back there. It's behind me.
People are going to think that's a Fender.
It's I don't know. I think that one would confuse people. I think they'd be like, I don't know what that is.
Maybe a better example is like you've got the Harmony. Is it the Silhouette? I forget which model that is.
Oh yeah,
Over
yeah.
there, like people are going to think maybe that's a Fender.
That's really off screen.
Yeah,
that's an offset. But like,
well, okay, Brian, I was naming things behind the camera.
I know. But then you started looking at things that people can see. But I think the third is this. It's like in the peripheral, where people are like, "Oh yeah, that is a shape that I associate with electric guitar." Like I think there's this amorphous kind of shifting thing in people's cultural recognition, or like something that kind of looks like a V, but maybe an Explorer, or maybe pointy in a different metal way. Like there's this whole like just chimera concept of electric guitar, which is a flashy, pointy object with a guitar neck on it, that I think probably fills that third place in the public's consciousness.
I would go as far as to wager that, and maybe this is like more obvious than I think it is, that if you went around and showed people pictures of a Dean ML, like the dime bag, like lightning bolt one,
right,
you would get more people saying like, oh, isn't that like the Pantera guitar, than you would get people saying that that's a Dean.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, so there's that association there. Like I think I forget.
But that's so far away from the third most recognizable guitar.
No, I know, but I'm saying like I think you could do that for a lot of like.
But it would fit inside that bubble of pointy electric guitars. I think that's the answer.
I'm saying I would also go for like EVH Frankenstein. Like though that one was just a build, right? That wasn't a brand.
Basically a Strat.
Sure, but I don't know that. I think more people would say like, "Oh, that's the Van Halen guitar," than would be like, "Oh, that's like a Strat," or "That's like isn't that like a Fender thing?"
I think they would recognize the finish as Van Halen more than they would recognize the guitar.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, I really think that my strong point that I'm going to rest on is that the concept of a pointy heavy metal guitar, flashy sort of stage guitar is the third most recognizable guitar, but it's not, no one can actually focus it into being one model. It's just the concept floating out there of guitar. And then the rest of it, like that, I think that's a Gibson because I've heard that name before, and that's the type that they look like. They're the electric guitars that look kind of like acoustics. Oh, that must be a Fender because those are the ones that look like the like indie people or like the Beach or whatever. They all have that colorful
Why
look.
are you doing a Midwestern neutral?
Am I?
I felt like that was a very like, oh, don't you know, like
really?
Minnesota thing.
I didn't feel myself doing that.
Okay.
Rewind the tape.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. I don't know. Like, I feel like the general public has an idea of what a Fender guitar is and a Gibson guitar because they sell shirts at Walmart and Target.
That's true. That's a good point.
Like that's really where it comes from. It's like you can buy Fender shirts, you can buy Gibson shirts, you can buy Marshall shirts.
Yeah.
You know, if they sold PV shirts at Target, then everyone would know the brand, you know?
And no one would know where to find them because they're not in business.
I know.
Well, they are in business, but they're not
we
doing
should
a lot of
buy
business.
we should buy, that's what we'll use our Threads money for. Definitely have enough money to buy the PV licensing and sell PV merch.
I bet you can go to PV's website and buy merch.
No, I want to be in business, Steve. I want to be the one going to Target and Kohl's and Walmart and being like, I want to sell you guys.
You're gonna come
200,000 units of PV shirts.
Come full circle, and you're gonna get back.
I'm gonna get back into the apparel industry. I've got the experience.
While you're there, can you print us up some of those OG 60 cycle hum shirts?
I wonder if I still have that contact. I haven't talked to that guy in 11 years.
Every once in a while, someone will come out of the woodwork. One of them is RJ, who doesn't come out of the woodwork, but like, because, okay.
Story short, we got shirts printed the old-fashioned way a decade ago, and they're still out there. People are still wearing them,
and they still look good
because they're actually screen printed instead of the inkjet print that all the print-to-order places do now.
Where
and they're printed on this nice charcoal heather. Because I had just come out of the apparel industry and I knew the good stuff.
I still have some 2X. Oh, I'm a 2X now. I think I have 2Xs in my garage.
Check it out.
I should wear one.
You should wear one.
Unless it's a 3X. I think it's a 2X.
Hey Steve, anyway. I believe in you. I think you can fit into 3X.
Ryan, did we knock this topic out in 12 minutes?
I want to know what other people think. What is the third most recognizable guitar? And we already know Fender's first and Gibson is second.
Did we do double Lucas? We did double Lucas this
episode. We? We were trying to avoid the double Joeys, and we did a double Lucas.
Okay.
Oh, well, he's going to win.
Yes. All right. This last ad was sent by Lucas.
Congratulations.
This last ad was sent by Lucas Survey, who won the Adventurers Club this week.
If you guys want to win the Adventurers Club, all you got to do is send a crap ton of really good listings that you found on the internet.
Rare Red Lady electric guitar, possibly homemade, has Scorpion brand on head backplate. Nothing like it on the market. Not just art. She plays. Sold as is. Age unknown. She looks 80 style-wise. However, Scorpion brand on back says since 2000. High novelty and real conversation piece. 14,000 clicks and climbing. Facebook only allows 10 pics. Minor scuffing. See on both feet. See pic. The seller wants us to look at the feet pics.
Yeah, there's feet pics, Steve.
It comes with custom-made case, 650 OBO. The fact that this has 14,000 clicks and is not sold, either your price is wrong or...
Have you seen the pictures yet, Steve?
Sort of. Sort of. So this is probably some kind of import brand, obviously, with the Scorpion That looks like a real brand.
Yeah. No, Scorpion is a real brand. I looked them up, and they make kind of like importy, like Strats,
Did they make
and
this
like a
guitar?
Strats. They did not have this on their current website, and I couldn't find an example of that neck plate. So this is an older version of that brand.
Some kind of jank Floyd Rose. This is atrocious.
You're talking about the hardware on this. You're not talking about the fact that it is the silhouette of a lady. And she ain't wearing no clothes. She's naked.
This ad is going to get us kicked off of YouTube.
But it looks like it was drawn by that kid you knew in high school who figured out how to make a tattoo machine with a ballpoint pen and has been like doodling with their homemade tattoo machine on their inner thigh. Like, this looks like the second tattoo they ever made. That's what's going on here. This looks like what teen boys drew inside their notebook in the late 70s.
I don't know what to say about this. It is bizarre.
It is so bad that it's circled around to being amazing, and I want it, and I want to start like a Metal Shop Steel Panther sort of outfit just to justify owning this guitar.
So a while ago,
her little red socks or shoes.
A while ago, I tried to start watching.
It looks like it was drawn by a talentless children's book author. You know, when you get a children's book where it's like, how did this person get the job of illustrating this? Did their friend illustrate it for them and they were just like fine enough? Like, sometimes there's some real stinkers out there, and I don't understand how they go to publishing. This has that vibe, but it's smut.
Yeah, so the thing I was going to say is this feels like, for whatever reason, I don't know why I think this. I only got like 4 or 5 episodes into it, but I feel like this guitar is giving Twin Peaks.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah,
it's simultaneously like, it's disturbing, and yet like there's like, you know, this is arousing for someone. Like, somebody's like, the guy who's like, oh, this got 14,000 clicks. It's like, yeah, because people are really confused and they can't look away. It's a train wreck.
No, everyone's been sharing this. Everyone wants to see this.
Yeah, I guess. You said this company's still around?
Yeah, I found a company called Scorpion Guitars, which doesn't really mean a whole lot. The logo didn't look the same to me.
Oh, okay. So it's probably not like the same.
It might not be,
brand.
or it might have just be the brand has been around for 20 years and has just changed ownership or changed looks a bunch of times or something like that. Like, we don't even know if this body goes with the Scorpion brand. This could have been a body someone cut in wood shop, and they bought the Scorpion guitar and moved all the parts over, you know?
Yeah, and the problem is when you look for Scorpion electric, this is the same brand. This is like, they're a novelty body guitar.
There it is. Yeah, they've got that heavy metal boat anchor.
This is on Reverb.
But this has the vibe of like they intended to put like a photorealistic like Playboy bunny on there or something like that. But then that model didn't sell, so it was a factory blow up to Guitar Fetish. And so
that's what it looks like.
Like, they just sold a bunch of sandblasted naked lady silhouette guitar bodies through Guitar Fetish. Some dude bought this one and he's like, I could draw a naked lady. I've been drawing naked ladies ever since I was 13. And he never got better at it. And this is the result. She's going to have beautiful brown hair, just like my ex-girlfriend.
Part of the problem is
she's going to have little red shoes.
Is because there's a band called The Scorpions. It makes it very hard to search. Because if you search for
I bet
Scorpion guitar, it's just all like...
They probably did that on purpose. They're probably like, we're going to hide out under this name. No one's going to be able to like track us down if we're ever in trouble. Right. Good luck. but we're gonna sell at your mom and pop that's over in the mini mall.
Can you
down
imagine?
by the pet store.
Can you imagine walking into that store? Can you imagine this would be in like Music Central,
the pawn shop that also sells like 3 new electric guitars that they bought off of some place?
I just imagine that this is in Music Central. It's behind the case. You're going in for your lesson. You're 12 years old, and you're just like going up. You're caught off guard because you're 12, and you're like, there's a naked lady guitar back there, and
I'm coming back here.
And like some guy, the guy who's going to give you your lesson is like walking over like, "Hey Ryan, pretty cool, huh? ready to go rock and roll, brother?
You're not ready for that one."
Yeah. That's got a Floyd Rose on there. Advanced users
this one actually
only.
has a broken Floyd Rose on it. The part where the bar goes in, is removed. You can replace, if this is one of the ones where you can screw it in, you can fix that. But this looks so it looks so deeply licensed that I don't think it's even licensed anymore. So good luck, I guess, finding a replacement part for that. Also, like, I'm having like the suspicion that we're gonna publish this video and the comment section is gonna be full of metal dudes from the 80s. You're like, you don't know whose guitar that's a tribute to. You don't know blah blah blah. the third guitarist to join blah 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 who played from 1986 to the summer of 1988. Sorry, we don't know who that is. In advance, this is probably just some dude's doodle on a body that he cut out in wood shop. But maybe it is a reproduction of some famous guitar. Maybe Rick Nielsen played a guitar that looks just like this. I don't know. Sorry, we don't know everything.
What metal band was Rick Nielsen in?
I'm just saying, like, because Rick had a bunch of of weird guitars.
Ryan,
like, I could see Rick Nielsen playing this as a joke. Like, you guys see this weird lady guitar?
Yeah,
she's naked and she's not wearing any clothes either.
All right, dude.
He drew the nipple on it. So
that's the part of it
so
that's like
funny. And her arm, like every part, there's like a found art element to this that I actually adore. The best part of it, like he got those eyes seductive. Like whoever did this, they spent time, like the eyes and the lips. There's like they studied the Mona Lisa.
I feel like the face and the hair is like doing one specific thing. And then, like, the rest of it, they're like, Yeah, I spent, like, spent 6 hours drawing, like, the hair and the eyes and the face, and they spent 30 minutes doing the rest.
It also feels kind of like that style from, like, the New Yorker in the 1920s, where some dude is like, I'm going to draw a whole comic strip with one line. There's a naked lady in there. Like...
That's a pretty good impression.
Yeah. It sounds just like people 100 years ago writing and drawing comic strips for the New Yorker.
All right, Ryan, I do need your help.
Okay, I'm ready. To, me, Steve. I'm always ready to help you.
While we have decided that Lucas Servi will be winning this episode, do you have a preference between which one of these goes on the Adventurers Club Hall of Fame on our website?
That is an honor. I'm going naked lady.
All right. Well, I'll write that down.
You agree?
Steve,
say I'm going with the naked lady.
I'm going with the naked lady. I do think the Ultimate Busk was probably a better ad, but
Yeah, but Ultimate Busk or Ultimate Bust?
That's bad.
That's really bad.
All right, this ad was sent by Craig Brinker.
I want to see like St. Vincent play that guitar. I want to see some extremely talented lady guitarist pick up that guitar and rip it ironically.
Hey, PRS, we got an idea for the next Orianthe signature model.
VRS will ruin it with a bunch of flame and stuff. Inlays. They'll turn those nipples into abalone inlays.
Jeez.
But give it a bush.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
It'll still have the little red shoes though.
Yeah. What kind of inlays would it have? Birds?
Yeah, it's got birds all over it. You know, it's PRS.
All right, Ryan, you want to hear a song?
I do want to hear a song, Steve. I can't believe we made it to the end of this.
This song was sent by Craig Brinker.
We're still alive.
Says, hey guys, I keep meaning to send you a song from the EP my band released earlier this year. Today is finally the day. The band is called Shakey Starts, and the song is called I Try Too Hard.
That's a great band name.
Well, my pants are
That song could be in a movie set in the 90s, and everyone would think like, oh man, like what band was this? It's nailing that kind of like 96, 97 slacker alternative, transitioning to emo by way of Weezer, kind of
like Weezery, or like Pavement, maybe
pavementy in a way. Yeah. It's living in a sweet spot.
Yeah.
You found a sweet spot for sure. It felt really good.
Yeah.
Cool song.
I enjoyed it.
Like it nails the vibe. Absolutely.
I would definitely understand like, oh, I'm a mediocre guitar player, so I'll just play louder.
That's the sort of song that a 15-year-old hears and they build their whole personality around it. All right. Bye, everybody.
Stay grounded.